Welcome back, everybody, to the Twin Chickens podcast. My name is Artie, and we're joined together today with some other people. We got Evan the Eagle, and we got Gilbert!
Hell yeah!
We were teasing Gilbert last week in the podcast. Gilbert is my cousin, my blood brother. We've shared needles, and we've shared women, and all the good stuff. No, I'm kidding. This guy is... Wow, man. I have a soft spot in my heart for Gilbert, so I hope you guys get to know him and recognize his great presence today.
Hopefully.
Yeah, as we talk about stuff. So how I like to open up the show is I like to play a clip and then we'll kind of divulge into some madness stuff. So yeah, take your time.
Go ahead.
And let me know what you guys thought about the last week's episode with Aubrey. I thought she was really lovely, and we'll probably have her on the show.
Yeah, it was great having her.
Yeah, let's start the show.
I got a question for you. What if I broke into your house, woke you up with a big kiss, gave you a nice hot shower, and made breakfast for you, and pampered you all day, gave you a back rub, gave you a foot rub, gave you a butt rub, and put lotion all over that beautiful body? What would you do? What will you do?
All right.
That's
nice.
Do you know how many views I got?
That guy? No,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You have no clue how many views?
I can probably look it up later because it's under my TikTok.
Okay.
What do you think? So he said this is a way to seduce a woman. What do you think? Do you think she'll feel comfortable? Give me your thoughts.
For a woman, I was gonna take his deal on it. He sounded really, really like.
He's really personal.
Yeah, he's into it. I don't know. Get lotioned up. I mean, that sounds pretty neat.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
You said pampered. I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Ready.
Yeah. I'm
do
ready
you,
for it.
Do you think if he were to go to someone and say, "Hey, I want to do this," like, do you think that that's the right approach? I feel like it's a little intimidating because he's already busting out the lotion and it's not even like the first date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he's shirtless.
Yeah, and that's really intimidating stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but
some people might enjoy a really strong, like,
Aggressive character.
Yeah.
Presence.
yeah.
I think if you said that to a random girl, I don't think it would work.
I think
depends on the girl.
It depends on the girl because
I think there'd be a
he's
rare
coming
chance that it would be perfect. Some really down to earth girl would be like, "Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
like fucking lotion me up."
I'm pretty sure if it's been a girl that's like single for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can bring this up, but maybe the lady you were telling me about at work who
Oh,
could use this.
yes. I think she would guaranteedly take that off 100%.
I don't know, guys. I feel like that's a little bit too much for me.
It's like, I mean, he's bold about it. You know, he's honest. He's gonna be upfront. I feel like maybe a sugar baby.
I think that might be the best route.
Sugar baby.
A sugar baby.
She throw a couple $1,000 on top of it. She'll do it.
Yeah. Well, let's take this out now. So how would you? Okay, let's say that there's a girl that you're interested in. How would you seduce her? I guess.
Shoot. Dang, I feel like I'm the worst person to ask right now about that.
Yeah.
I think confidence is everything. Like, not even seducing. I think it's just being like 100% yourself.
Right.
Absolutely.
Full on eye contact. Let them know you're available. Simple touches. Play around. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah. But not busting up the lotion and rubbing her feet. Like right away.
I know there's some people that are super, super strong about that. They're just like super aggressive, and I don't think it gets them that far.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
hard.
to relate on a personal level, I don't feel like I need to be that aggressive. Like, a lot of my friends are like, dude, like, you're not fucking as dominant or whatever. Like, I don't need to be. I feel like my presence is enough.
Yeah.
And so I can just be who I want to be, not be as sexually dominant or like as aggressive towards it. And if somebody's into me, they'll let me know, and I'll just ask them. Like, it was super sweet. She, the last date I went on, she was like, You keep asking for like kisses so politely. I'm like,
He just
I don't know, it's just who I am.
Grab me. That's just he wants you to grab her and just smooch her.
I'm like that though. I'm super polite. Like where you're like, oh, can I hold your hand? I always ask. I'm like, can I hold your hand?
And I feel
I'm like,
so
can I
much
give you a
better about
kiss?
being consensual about it, and then that way I feel like it adds tension. She's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think chivalry isn't dead. It's just really.
I think modern people have just made it die out. So when there is somebody that's chivalrous, it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't have that father figure or just that example to lead on, so you just don't see that at all. You don't get to see how a gentleman actually does it or how he approaches it, because we get to see this a lot in movies. This is why I always talk about movies, because like you get to see what's right and what's wrong, and so when someone just goes up and grabs someone's hand aggressively or just like does some really creepy stuff, it's like that's what's being shown to the masses, and it's like that's not really the best way to do that.
Yeah.
So it's good to take that step back and say like, oh well, I think she would be more, I guess, better acquainted with like if I hold her hand, if I ask her for that stuff. So what you guys were saying is totally on point.
I think it's changing too, where men aren't really the ones like going up to the girls. Now girls are coming up to men
Yeah,
and
I
feel
asking
like
them.
There's a
been
tectonic
lot
shift,
of,
Yeah.
like stuff being held back, like with allegations or whatever. Nobody
yeah.
needs to catch a case,
Yeah.
so it's just like the easiest way to just ask.
Yeah. I mean, that's difficult. I don't really know, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. The best way to do it is just be confident, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Go out to them, talk to them. Don't be afraid to be who you are. I mean, like, there's a point where, like, who you are, you need to reevaluate yourself sometimes, because sometimes you're just like maybe you're quick to anger, or you're just like you're not level-headed, so you need to just learn how to control those things. But who you are as a person, if you're able to give love and joy to someone and you want them to experience it, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's just about having fun. So when you start dating, just have fun. And this is what this guy's doing, man. This guy's having fun, doing some stuff.
Well,
Good stuff.
that's a good point too. Now, when you're talking about what is the definition of your guys' dating? Because I've come around to different things and I have my own version of it.
I saw a post recently on social media, like dating and relationships and whatever has been skewed either by movies or other things or something that people think it's supposed to have hardship.
Yeah.
When it doesn't always have to be. Like, you deserve it. You can have a happy, healthy relationship and have just the best time. Like, it's all for having fun and enjoying yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
And feeling refreshed out of a conversation or whatever you're doing with another person. The communication should be refreshing.
Okay.
Well, that's sorry.
Go
No.
ahead.
I was gonna say, what my ideal. This is what I try to pass down to my sisters and siblings, because they're about that age where they're gonna start dating and all that stuff. So I tell them, don't. We hear this term of shipping, right? Like, oh, I ship them, or I want them to be in a relationship and all that stuff. But the difference between dating and being in a relationship is that when you're dating, you're not committed to someone.
Okay, yeah.
People think that when you start dating, you're supposed to be committed to someone and start like making that a reality, and it's not really the case. You're actually dating someone to get to know them, to build a relationship.
Yeah.
Dating is weaving out the phase of everything.
Yeah.
So say you're dating someone and she has in her mind what we were just talking about, that we need to be in a relationship now because maybe she's on a time limit, or for whatever reason. But the main thing is you date to get to know someone, to see if you guys are compatible. That's what dating should only be. And only then, when you actually feel like, oh, we actually get along, we could actually, our things match and we start to click, that's when it becomes a relationship. When you both agree on it. Because if it gets one-sided, we know what happens. Mm-hmm. Stalkerish starts to become a thing, and just a lot of hurt goes around. So it's good to recognize those things. And like we were saying, it just is being portrayed in a very terrible way.
Yeah, no, I agree, because the girl that I've talked to, or plenty of girls, I'll be like, oh, are we dating? And it's like, yes, but is your date the same as mine? Because my dating is you're seeing other people as well and getting to know them.
Yeah.
To see if this person potentially is the person that you want to be with forever. But like you said, they get stuck on the mindset of we're dating now, we're in a relationship. It's just exclusive, and it's just
it shouldn't be.
And unless you both agree upon it, where it's like we're not seeing anybody else, and I want to take this further. Then what do you add on to the label? Because you're not boyfriend and girlfriend yet.
No, that's when you guys agree.
Yeah, onto it. So it becomes difficult. And
I think establishing good communication and just knowing that, like, it doesn't matter what the label is, as long as you're comfortable with where you are with that person. And just keep building it. Like, nothing has really been set. Just I keep bringing up my own personal life.
Go ahead.
We talked about, with my last date, not the last one, but the previous one, she asked, like, so what are you looking for? And I'm always fucking, like, shaken up whenever I get asked that question. I don't like it. But it was super cool. Like, I just am looking forward to getting closer to you because I really like you.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm not really expecting too much.
Right.
And she was like, well, I'm not looking for anything monogamous, but I do enjoy your company as well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to just see more growth through it, because I don't need to have a label to just have a good time with somebody.
Right.
And so if it can grow into something better, that's my ideal relationship, to be able to spend time with somebody, maybe grow their friendship. Even though we can have some intimacy, there can be a friendship built over months, and then I feel way more comfortable with that person to start, I don't know, bringing them to other aspects of my life.
Yeah, like expressing more families and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've gotten to that point where if I'm dating somebody, or I'm so used to being rushed into relationships immediately. Like, you're dating and then boom, you're in a relationship
Just
the
like
next
that.
day. Just like that. You don't even know what's going on. And it's like, it almost seems that one-sidedness, and it's, they don't really ask what you're looking for. It's just like, boom, here we go, we're done. And it sucks. Like, so I'm at that point now where I'm enjoying it. I'm taking things slow. I'm really just exploring.
It's frustratingly slow.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy that there's tension and desire. I can see it in both myself and her, but it's almost that much better for the wait.
Yeah.
Like, just to be able to have not everything laid on the table. It's just like, okay, we can see the potential in it, but there's no rush to enjoy this experience.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. There is no rush.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people do have a rush, but we're young. I'm old, but you guys are young. You know, but there is no rush. You know, it's not like you need to have a kid right away. It's not like you're trying to, get a visa for someone. You know, there's no rush for us.
Yeah.
So the best way I could always describe it is just go out and have fun. The best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
If you try to immediately start saying, if you want to be in a relationship, you're going to creep her out, or whoever you're with, him or her, whatever. Just have fun, enjoy being around each other's company.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can always do. And then just, take it slow. When she's ready to move on, or he is ready to move on with you, they'll tell you. They'll let you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that, but they'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then you can be honest with them.
And I think it's good to find, like, each other's rhythms. So, like, if you're casually dating, or just, like, spending time every few weeks or something, you're starting to get to know a little bit more about them. So then when you start spending a lot more time with them, or maybe move in with them, you actually kind of are comfortable enough to be with them. So it's not like you're in a relationship and then you're like, I need a place to stay. So you guys start spending a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be really harsh.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can make it work, but that's just how things might crumble if you're not already familiar with who they are as a person.
I've had that experiences though, where I've rushed into relationships and then rushed into living together, and it fucking failed. It's just because you don't know who you're with at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, I'm sleeping with a complete stranger, even though like you think you know them, you really don't.
Yeah.
And then you start to like realize, what do you guys want in your life, and it doesn't match up, and it's like, why am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
So
that's what dating is so important. It's so people don't take it as seriously, or not seriously, but like they don't understand that concept of dating versus relationship. But I'm glad we're talking about it, and I hope people get that message.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did get a little heavy, so we usually kind of like to break the ice, and let's watch another clip.
Video.
Somebody out here giving the kids incense. They supposed to have goddamn sparklers. Somebody out here giving the kids incense. Who the hell is giving the kid? Oh my God, he got one too. Now hold it up there. You gotta hold it down. It's gonna burn your fingers.
Gilbert,
Did somebody not afford like sparklers?
I guess not.
They just got a $2 pack of like 200 incense or something.
Could somebody have just been mixed up on it?
Probably, but how was your 4th of July? I haven't talked to you in God knows how long.
It was absolutely, for the first time, boring.
Uneventful.
Uneventful. I stayed home.
Same. I did the same thing.
I heard the fireworks, people around me. I just wasn't in the mood, I guess, this year. I don't know if it's like the aspect of growing up and then you're not, or like no friends or no families like that, like gathering. So it was, I spent it sleeping. My cousin, surprisingly, he bought, I think they're called Roman candles.
Yeah, I saw that on your snap.
And, we just were shooting each other with it, and that was it. That was the only time I had with fireworks of this year.
Yeah. I mean, I never really liked them. I think they're pretty nice, cool things to look at, but it definitely depends on who you're with and what you're going to do. I was with my sister the day of the 4th of July, and I think I had projects working on the entire day, so I was just like, I took a break to go to the fireworks with them. I went early, like at 6, and I thought that they were gonna be like the fireworks were gonna start at 7. Yeah. They started at 10.
Oh, really?
Late. So I'm like, no, I did take time to go see them, to go be with my sister and her little nephew, or my little nephew, but it ended up being too late. So I'm like, I already took my time, and people are gonna do fireworks anyway at where I'm at, but I didn't do anything as well. I just, for 4th of July, I just went home and did another painting.
And it's probably going to get deep again. Have you noticed as you've gotten older, you visit your family less, or do you make more time for them?
Well, I have a personal issues with my family right now that I just, it's not that I don't want to see them, it's just that there's a barrier and a boundary that I'm trying to create so that I don't get hurt with how they act and how they perceive love.
Yeah.
So... through my therapy talks and everything, I've learned what it means to accept love, to give, and all this stuff. And my family currently is just not equipped to do that. Yeah. Which is fine. To each their own. That's what I always say, And you have to accept the reality of that. You can't force things. So, yeah, it did get a little deep, but it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't mind touching on that, though. Like, what has your experience been with that? Have you felt like you haven't been spending as much time with family, but when you do, I feel like I've gotten a more wholesome sense of like appreciation for my parents and family. Like, wow, they've really done a lot for me. And sometimes I'll even drive home like crying, like, fuck, I really appreciate them for what they've done.
That's a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad that you have that. And every time I see his parents, they're amazing people.
They're amazing.
So I'm so grateful that he has something like that in his life, man. That's amazing. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, I'm really grateful for it. But tell me, like, what are your experiences like that? Have you gone in and out of touch with family, or?
I think it's just the older you're getting, the more like I don't spend time. Either I'm busy, or it's just work, or your own general life just going around. And I think slightly you kind of push them off to the side. At least for me.
Oh, definitely same.
So there is times where like I'll come and visit them, and it's like, wow, this memories again of coming back. Like, I miss the family and stuff. And then you get the typical dramas of what things are going on. And, but I think the more I've realized, it's especially going home, is it almost seems like they're much happier that I'm not around.
Yeah.
Like there's more things going on in life.
They're also having space.
Yeah. So it almost seems like it's nice because I don't get to see them, so we could catch up. But then you get those old behaviors coming back. That you're like, this is the reason why I don't come back. So
that's with every family. Every family definitely has those things where like, oh, why'd you yell at me? Or like, why does this make you so mad? That's every family. Yeah. And I'm glad that you recognize that, because some people would just stick with that and make things worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's taking that time away for yourself. And that is actually shows your maturity, actually, more than anything. It shows that you're able to recognize these things, and whether or not you talk to your family about it, so that maybe you guys can reconcile and say, oh, this is what's right, and this is what I see, this is what makes me comfortable, whatever. It's all part of your growth, and ultimately, if you do decide to do that, it might bring your family closer together, and say like, what we can do.
Actually, I found something interesting, or at least I've been thinking about it recently, about like personal growth when it comes to pet peeves. Like, I've had pet peeves, especially with like other girlfriends or something, or even just family. Yeah. There's things that happen, but I realize it's not their fault; it's mine. It's really hard for me to wrap my head around it because I've had so much issue with it. But when there's somebody angry at me or just does something, I don't know, eat a cheeseburger on the other half or upside down, I don't know, whatever it is, it's whatever I put in my own head that, like, oh, that's wrong or something. Like, no, they're just being who they are, and maybe they have issues that they're trying to figure out, but that shouldn't affect me in any way.
Yeah, not at all. But pet peeves, that's a really big thing, man.
It is, but also it's completely psychological. Like, somebody could take a shit on my floor, and that would be, that would upset me.
Yeah.
But also,
there are things that would upset you more.
It affects me, yes, but also, I don't know, if somebody takes responsibility for it, or just the way it's put into perspective, like, I don't know, if somebody had the runs or something, and it's not technically their fault, but they're being responsible and cleaning it up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's me being okay with it, with anything that I can't control.
Yeah. Right. Well, like, that's definitely showing maturity and abusiveness.
I can only control my own actions and emotions and that, so I can just appreciate for the good things that happen.
Absolutely. And it's good to recognize those, man, because like you can't control anybody's actions. We can only control our own, like we were saying. So, I mean, I always think of it as there's things that are much worse that they can do. They can punch you in the face, slash your tires. So that's why whenever I'm with someone, I accept them for who they are. And if you can't do that, you have to work on if you can even accept yourself. There's a lot of intermittent turmoil that people go through, and this is something we got to realize as well. Whenever we spend time with someone, we're bringing them into our world. I don't consider us introverts, but I consider ourselves as us three in the room as people that respect our time with each other and away from each other.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because I've for the longest time thought I was an introvert until I guess over my teenage years doing through Taekwondo and then experiencing more of college. I love people, but I also love my own quality time.
Yeah.
So I think everybody has their own balance of between introvert and whatever. Like, nobody's going to be one side or the other. People still need to socialize, but in their own way. And so people just find their own balance after years of experimentation. Like, oh, I like this, and I like spending time with two people, or, you know, whatever mix it might be.
Yeah.
But having a balance of like, okay, I love having my quality time, so if I'm with people all day at work, I have my downtime for a couple of hours at night.
Yeah.
Or whatever it might be.
Absolutely.
How about for you guys?
Well, I haven't heard from you yet, so I want to know what your opinion is. Do you feel like when you are with people, your own family, do you feel like you're there and you're present, or are you there to just like, you know, I'm here to show that I'm your son, so I'm going to be here, but are you there to like engage and to show the respect for your family, that you're not going to like not cause drama, but like have a good time?
No, like when I show up, it's like I said, like everything is back to the same way. We're a family, everybody's there. I'm not there just like ghosting myself or just being like empty space.
Yeah.
But I don't know really. I don't know.
No, it's tough. It's
I don't know how to answer that one.
But I find it hard. Sometimes I'm at my parents' house and I really want to be engaging, but I'll just be kind of empty-minded or go back into my old habits of kind of just being myself and not really talking much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to family, because I've already lived with them enough for like 18 plus years or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to be able to go do something, so I feel more engaged when I'm with a one-on-one. So if I'm helping my dad, or maybe in the kitchen with my mom cooking something, I get way more engagement being able to just have good, healthy, just fun conversation.
Yeah.
Where if it's in a group, I'm just like,
I think I have more of the engagement with my siblings. I think my siblings are more like realizing of that aspect. When it comes to my parents, like I don't talk to my stepdad. He comes in the house, goes upstairs. With my mom, it's almost for like a little bit, and then she does her own thing. Or it's just like I do my own thing, and it's just like I don't think there's a connection there at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still like the blood aspect of I'm her son and she's my mother, but I think further from that, I think we're at a point in our lives where we're kind of done with each other. Like just like we're done, it's over. There's not really further bonding after that.
Yeah, there's a point where it's like where you are the baby, you are the son, and now you are an adult.
Yeah.
Right? There's these three little patterns. And I totally understand what you mean, because I've also been there with my parents as well, where they don't see me as their son. They see me as a person now.
Yeah.
You know? And being, I don't know, I understand that philosophy, or not philosophy, the thing with your mom, which is like...
The point, yeah.
I think it's more the fact that you guys haven't had the time to bond as adults. Because she probably just sees you as her son. And I always said this before, and I don't mean to sound like too crass or anything, but just because your mom is your mom, it doesn't matter who your mom is. It's as if she acts like your mom.
Yeah.
That's your mom.
it's such an interesting thing, because also recently I've been thinking about like how my parents are just two people.
Yeah.
And it sounds simple enough, but I've been wrapping my head around it. Like, they're just two people that happen to get together and made a relationship work.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, holy shit, they're just normal, I don't know how to describe it, normal people. And so I'm treating them differently because I have more time with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I've only known them, or as a family, not just as individuals who have just been around, or I've met them somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure where I was going to take that, but I have a different perspective of my own family because I've only known them as one thing.
Yeah. I think it's a good perspective though, because you have basically a family that's been together, they're happy. I've had families that are divorced.
Mm-hmm.
You've had families that divorced. It's so difficult at the point where my mom is like that, but my dad's the opposite way.
Right.
My dad still sees me as a kid, and I don't think he gets the idea of me being an adult yet either.
I want to say maybe is it from a place of still wanting to be able to help out, or just like maybe in a slightly negative way, but wanting to still be a part of your life or help you out because he felt like he wasn't there enough or something?
I think for me it's me just wanting my mom, because my mom was never my mom.
Yeah.
And it was always emotional abuse. And I don't think I think she realizes now slightly. She's apologized for it, but
She probably has some regret about it, but it takes both of you to like recognize that and actually work on that. It's not an easy thing to do, but you have to talk to your mom about that.
Yeah. No, we've discussed it, and I don't think things have really changed, or they're not going to change either.
Well, it's an effort. It works both ways, man.
Yeah, and you get tired of it. You get tired of always trying, and then
That's how I feel with my dad all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it just comes with like time. My grandparents were super like avoidant of other family, and they were like somewhat dramatic and didn't like their other siblings. Like my grandma had jealousy for her sisters or something like that, and so they wouldn't show up for Christmases or this and that. But it's been interesting after my grandma has passed. My grandpa's attitude has changed completely. He used to be very cynical and negative about everything.
Yeah.
Now he's a different person. Like,
Interesting.
after he's not had like his wife for a couple years now, his attitudes are like so much more appreciative. He's actually started hanging out with my dad. They've never had good quality time, like from what I can remember ever.
yeah.
Right.
It was, their relationships were just not good, and I feel like seeing that now, my dad has tried really hard to have a good relationship with me, and I now appreciate it.
That's
But
good.
seeing that, like, because of his lack of relationship with his dad, he's tried to make up for it here, but now it's come full circle where my grandpa's starting to come around and spend more quality time and just being an authentic human.
Maybe it's just time. Maybe once my mom gets old, she'll come back around and
Well, it always takes you can't have pain or love without pain, and vice versa. Because that's where it comes from. I learned this in there was a cinema therapy where they break down like villains and characters and how broken people come together and all that stuff, and just the process of like what they could have done if this person had this in their life and all that stuff. But I really like that lesson. It's called cinema therapy. I'll put the link in below. It's really, really, really good stuff. But the main thing is that once you experience something traumatic or something that actually breaks you out of that mold and just snaps you out of it, then yes, you become more appreciative. You start to understand the world more. I got to learn that way late in the game. When my stepdad died, I remember I talked to you about this. It was that's when I realized, like, okay, the one thing we have is time. That's the only thing we have with each other.
Yeah.
And if you don't value each other's time, you're gonna regret it when they're no longer there.
Yeah.
And when they're no longer there, that's the one thing you have. And that's the thing that I was trying to live with for the longest time, is how do I let go of this regret that I treated him so bad, and all these things of like I had that time and I wish I was awake, if that makes sense. I wish my mind was like it is now and be more appreciative. I didn't get to learn that until after his death, and that, it's a shame, but like at the same time, it taught me everything I needed to learn to treating people correctly.
And I think there's just a give and take with relationships, like the past few girlfriends or whatever. You just have those failures where you try to do something and you just face plant, but then it's after that and you start reflecting over the past, like the next few months, and you're like, oh, I messed up.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you make an effort towards changing that or appreciating the other people around you, I mean, like, that's the best part. I feel like if you just neglect it and just were like, fuck it, whatever, I think that's the biggest mistake you could do, really.
And it all depends who you want in your life, because, like I said before, this is your world.
Yeah.
You made it. So if you're going to invite someone in, whether it's a girlfriend or your family, you have to have this understanding with them, and just overall, like, this is who I am. Yeah. And if you don't respect me, then you're gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a very difficult balance to make, but it shows your maturity if you're able to talk about these things and explore them with your family. But either way, again, jeez, I'm like,
The next topic.
yeah, I got a little. Oh my god.
Well, it's good. No, it was good. Is there another video?
Yeah, I had a couple of them. Let's go to this one. Here we go. You ever feel like that at a party?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Watch the first 30 seconds real quick. Oh, you see that?
Like,
Feeling left out of the.
oh, is that what
You want to engage, but you can't.
When you see like a crowd of like people already in conversation or something.
Or you're trying to join.
I've been there.
The caption throws me off. It's like when the hoes show up.
Yeah, that shouldn't be there. But
Yeah.
it's more the fact of like I've always. I used to be like that's, and I still am a little bit where like I want to say something and be in the conversation, but I'm like I don't know what to say.
But then also like the last party or basement show we had, maybe personal growth, but seeing that and recognizing like okay, I don't have to stand over here. I just walked in, forced myself in the circle, and then boom, you're already part of it.
Yeah, they accept you no matter what. It's kind of like
And it's
just-
confidence is key, so you
Yeah.
can just be like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's like, what's part of the conversation? I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're just like, yeah, come in. Like, let's have this conversation.
They don't give it a second thought. They just want to have fun. Everyone just wants to have
Yeah.
fun.
I think I guess the confidence of it, you're like, oh, they're not going to accept me. And It's
Yeah.
almost,
Don't overthink
yeah,
it at
don't
all.
overthink it.
Yeah.
Just jump forward.
There's another part to recognize too. Is like I remember when we were in a circle together. There was a time in high school or in college, sorry, where me and him were just talking, and then this other guy comes in and just says something completely inappropriate, and it's like I don't want you here. At all.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's a good way to recognize that.
Can you elaborate? I don't remember where that was.
Shorty, long hair, and I just never engaged with this kid. Every time he came around, I was just like, I don't want to talk to you, man.
Is it
Yeah.
that he just didn't know how to talk, really? Or like he didn't know how to...
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
And I don't want to say his name, but it's more the fact of like, there's a point of like when you're walking into a conversation, like I would learn how to lead,
Right. Okay.
first.
Yeah, especially like some people that aren't just socially equipped.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you. That's the
they're
word.
really. I can see they're trying. Like, there's people who genuinely try, but their energies and their thought process and just who they are in general.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just don't want that crowd. So like, not to be cutting them out, but yeah, cut people out of like I don't want to have that type of person in my life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay, hey, we gotta
I would always
step
say
out
that.
for a minute. You
Oh,
know?
I would always say that, like, hey, I gotta do some club stuff, so I'll see you later.
Sorry.
I'm out.
Is it that they're just not your type of people, or is it just
Yeah.
But then also like,
like
just
they'll fit somebody somewhere else? in
Yeah,
the group?
they'll fit somebody somewhere else.
Exactly, and people find their own groups and cliques, like especially in schools, like that's the place for it. If you need a place to be, you'll find people that'll mesh
Yeah.
with you, and even if they don't, you'll still be able to spend time with them. It's just recognizing, I feel, from a place of more experience, we're able to just step out. Like we don't want to be here. We know that we have a good enough bonding that we can just go elsewhere and have a good time without said people.
Yeah, it's just a good thing to keep in mind. Just don't walk in on a conversation and start talking about genitals or something completely inappropriate.
Especially since that was like his whole thing.
Vibe.
That's all he talked about.
Weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He would only bring up inappropriate things, and then when there was a moment of silence, he'd then pull up his phone and be like, "Hey, look at this really disgusting thing."
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was just a really weird guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever
Not
have
weird,
that?
but I've had people where their energy is super bae. Like for example, they would come in and we're just relaxed, mellowed, and they would bring too much energy and it really turn people off because it's just like it's not the moment for that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes down to that's their personality and people just don't know them, and so when they're that fucking massive, like people are just like I
don't wanna-
But also,
Yeah,
I don't
I
mind
deal
like
with that.
if you're that dominant in a conversation, it can be a good thing if you're if you use it in the right way, read the room, definitely.
Yeah.
But also, if you're gonna do that, have a purpose with it, like, hey, bring people up and be like, have this energy. If it's
Like, I'm gonna go to this rock concert tonight. You guys ready to go? Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
you know,
Yeah.
bringing the crowd up to like do something or be in a really engaging conversation.
Yeah.
But if it's already mellowed out, there's no need to be, whoa, let's do this, guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would scare the shit out of me.
yeah.
I'll tell you.
So just having more social experience. I
Yeah.
feel like starting to, but that everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
So if
I think read the room too.
Yeah.
Just read the room first of all.
definitely.
And it takes time to recognize that.
Because if you're really the loud one in the whole group, or just the loud one in the whole room, it's like chill out a bit, you know?
Yeah.
You're being a little bit obnoxious, and it's just like chill out.
Yeah.
But if also, isn't it interesting? Like, you're the rock star in your own world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1 is a thought, 2 is a discussion, and 3 is a belief.
Yeah.
So if you get other people on board that want to match your energy, you'll create that.
Yeah.
And if it's in the right set and setting, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like
right.
we could be at school or something, and I could be the obnoxious one or something. But then if another friend shows up and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
We match it, and
Yeah.
then more people are like, oh, that looks fun.
Yeah.
And they join us, and then it's a great time.
Yeah.
But
It's good to recognize when and not to do that. Yeah. When to do it, when not to do it. Oh, my
but
God.
also that kind of just derives from like who you know and how well you know them
Yeah.
in that way.
That's why I'm very selective with people that I bring into my life, because I know who I want, I know what I want to do, and I don't try to have distractions around, because then it'll just hinder my own goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of it happens to be like, I know who I want to hang out with, so I'm very like, if I go to hang out with and whoever, I'm there. I show you the respect and time to be there, so I'm not gonna do something like, if Evan invited me to his house, I'm not just gonna come in here and like destroy his fucking room and then just walk away from it. No, I'm gonna respect your time. I'm gonna respect that I'm here, and just I'm more grateful to be actually here more than anything.
And sometimes I feel actually really sometimes apologetic for certain instances when there's substances involved, where I've had experiences going to cabins or something where I need like a couple hours to just shut down.
Yeah.
And so I just went and took like a nap in one of the guest cabins. They're like, where the fuck were you? Like, you know, this is the party. Or like, we're come and hang out with us. We're just trying to chill out. And like, I have to just shut down. My body isn't here.
Yeah.
And so I'll come back at a later time, but when people are like expecting something of you or just your presence, I don't know, there's maybe an interesting mixture of just putting yourself through like, okay, I'm here for the people and respecting their time,
Yeah.
but also recognizing that fuck everybody else, do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're not gonna hurt anybody.
no, just finding a balance of whatever it is, I guess.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right.
Anytime you're at a party,
Yes.
be super cool.
Yeah.
Be super chill. Don't be obnoxious. Don't be too like standout-ish. You
Yeah.
know?
Except
Slowly work that way up. You know, have people know who you are, and then
Yeah.
do crazy
unless
shit.
you're
Exactly,
the
yeah.
entertainer.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
This show I'll try to go really hard.
yeah.
But yeah.
Don't go too hard on the first ones, man. And yeah, we're reaching our halfway point, so let's cruise down these mofos. Let's get this going. I think we got this one.
I'm DJ Funny Bone, and this is how stupid some people look when they end up losing at a game. Stupid game, I don't want to play it anymore.
I don't
I
know
don't
why.
know what to say to that.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. I was watching these at 1 a.m.
Tell me of your guys' rage experiences playing video games. Rage
I have a
moments.
couple. I have a couple.
Enlighten us.
I'll tell you one, and then you can go.
Right.
So when I was a kid, I forget what I was playing. I was probably playing Mario or something, and I couldn't beat the level. And you know those N64 controllers?
Yes.
They had the joystick. I was cranking those things up and down, and I broke like 3 of them, dude. I was upset. I couldn't make the little plumber hop. I used to have extreme rage issues when I was a kid, but now not anymore. Now I take a break. I walk away. I'm not trying to break anything.
I think when it comes to the competitive game, like I play FIFA, and my friend was always good at FIFA, like, amazing. And the one time, I'm winning.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I was like, close game. You know, if you play soccer, you'll know it's like a 90-minute game plus
Yeah,
an extra
yeah.
3. And you know, I'm down to the last 30 seconds of the game, and I'm like, this is it. I won. I've finally beaten him for like 6 years, you know, playing with him.
Yeah.
I finally won. Scores. Wins the game.
He scores?
He scores. Yeah, he scores. He gets the tie, and it gets to overtime.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
And so then at that point, he scores and he wins. And I remember I chucked my controller, and it like breaks against the cabinet. And I'm just like, fuck this game. I'm just like,
God, no.
I got so mad. I looked at him.
Mm-hmm.
I had like 3 people over. I told them to get out. I was so mad. I said, get out of the house. Like, leave. I cannot deal with this. And they're like, they thought they were laughing. They're like, oh, it's a joke. Huh?
Yeah.
Like, no. Seriously, get the fuck out. Get out of the house. This is not funny no more.
Oh my God.
This is like 6 years of work that I put it into FIFA just to finally beat him.
Dude, he took it away from
And
me.
he took it away like that, just like that.
Oh
And he
God.
found the joy of it because he's like, you thought you were gonna win and you didn't.
Do you think he did it out of kindness? He was letting you win?
You know what? I think what happened was he was trying, and then when he realized he was about to lose, he went to like fucking pro mode. He was just like, no, I'm not losing.
He's like,
This is my game. Yeah, he basically, no. Gamer Pro destroys me. I had to kick them out. I talked to them a couple days later, and I was like, yo, sorry for this, but I was like, I couldn't. I
You
just
just
couldn't
weren't
handle it.
having
I
it.
was
Wait,
it was
so
my time to shine.
They all left the room? Or
They
did
left the
you-
house.
Oh.
I kicked them out. I kicked them out of the house. I said goodbye. I opened the driveway door. Get out. Yeah, get out.
Jesus Christ.
They're like, oh, you're really gonna end it like this? I'm like, yes. No. This is a valid reason for me to be angry.
But did you explain this to them later on? Like, this is what happened.
No. No. Well, and
Oh my
what was
God.
nice was that a couple years later, imagine this, a couple years later,
Right.
I finally win. I finally beat him. And I could see it because he, leans over, he starts to try.
Yeah.
And we're going back and forth, and I finally beat him with 1 goal. And I screamed. I was like, this is it. I'm like, I fucking won. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like 7 years of this. 7 years of constantly losing to you, and I finally win.
My God.
And my friend throws out, do you even think he was trying, or do you think he let you win? And I said, shut the fuck up.
Let me have it.
Shut up.
Just
Yeah,
let me have this.
Don't. Like, I know I won. And I look at him because he's starting to smirk now.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because I was like, now I'm getting doubt.
Yeah.
Like, did you let me win? Because you
You're
didn't want to
like-
get kicked out like last time?
That's the funniest.
Or is it like, I actually won and you're just like happy that I won?
Yeah.
So, till this day, I don't know. Nor do I want to ask. So fuck it. I won in my heart, and I know.
I go hard in FIFA too, man. I understand that feeling, and I think it's because we're hot-blooded males that
Yeah.
we get into that shit.
It's
And
competitiveness.
FIFA is I'm down with FIFA forever,
Yeah.
man. I feel that. And when you finally win, dude, it's a win in here. And,
Yeah.
And when people try to take that away from you, it's like, no, shut the fuck up. I get it. I won.
Exactly.
I know that feeling.
Well, it was hard because it was years of like working hard, and I would beat people. I would beat like Hedda. I would beat Eric.
Yeah.
People that say like, oh, I could beat you. Is like, no, I'm winning.
Yeah.
This one fucker.
I remember those times.
I can't win, and that was it. When it was just like finally, name crossed off my list. I won. That's it. I'm happy.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
We gotta celebrate that.
Thank you. I'm proud.
Gotta celebrate that win. Did you ever rage quit? That's something.
A couple times. There was probably a few side-scroller games that I've raged on. I remember when I was a kid, I had a little bit of anger issues. I'd play Mario Kart Wii,
Yeah.
and on like the hardest ones, like the mirror ones,
Yeah.
I got stuck
I
on.
could never do that.
And
No.
I got so angry, I started biting controllers.
You were biting?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus.
I don't think I've ever broken a controller by throwing it, but years later I started getting into heavy into CS:GO,
Oh, okay.
and
Man.
fucked. That really messed me up.
Yeah.
I started picking up a lot of new vocabulary,
Yeah.
Right.
and I'm not proud of that. But yeah, there'd be moments where I'd bang on my desk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd leave bruises on my arms.
Jesus, man.
Out of so much rage that it's hard to comprehend now that I was that into it or involved. Especially as a team when I might carry like 40 to 10 or something,
Yeah.
and everybody else is doing like 10, you know, like
Yeah,
1-to-1 ratio or something.
Right.
KD, and I'm just like, come on, guys, pick it up. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
I'm the one that's trying to carry it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
I get it.
I feel that.
Last moments, you know, like after a 90-minute game, this is the last like 15-15 or whatever the tiebreaker is.
Yeah.
Moments like those have gotten to me.
Really? Oh,
Dude.
man. Have you guys handled it now better? I've handled it much better. I just turn off the PS4 and I go to sleep.
That's exactly what I do.
I was just like, like if I'm playing Call of Duty and you know completely that was bullshit,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, you know what? I'm turning it off. I'm going to sleep.
That's
This
a
is
very
bullshit.
mature thing to do.
And then I'll get back on 10 minutes later to be like, yeah.
You know, because it plays in your head, like,
Yeah.
why?
Well, I'll just be like, I'll play one more game, and then the bullshit happens again. I'm like, you know what? I'll just turn it off.
Yeah.
So I haven't really cared for competitive stuff anymore. I was a little into it when I did Taekwondo,
Yeah.
but I would always beat my friend for like 4 or 5 years straight. He would always take second to me, and I could see that frustration after like years, and then finally once beating me, not in the biggest tournament,
Yeah.
but just in like a small little side project thing.
Yeah.
To see his satisfaction in it, which I'm really happy that he was able to get that.
Yeah.
Did you let him win?
But
This is the biggest question. man.
actually, not intentionally.
Okay.
Because it wasn't part of a bigger thing,
It was
right?
it was a tournament, but we were in a board breaking division, and I was trying a crazy new technique where I'd do a cartwheel and break a board.
Oh,
but
got you.
I shouldn't use terrible language. The board holders never know what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Only me and like 2 other people actually know how to properly hold breaking boards.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the tournament, there's someone that holds the board for you, and
Yeah.
you have to do. All you have to do is split it.
Yeah.
But they don't know where to hold it, up or
They
down.
don't know how to
side.
do it, and they hold it flimsily. Like they'll let it
Oh, I
move
see.
it. So when I need to perform more of a snapping kick or something when I'm doing a cartwheel, my dad was able to do it perfectly, which he should have held it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dude was holding it, let my foot smack against it like 2 or 3 times. That cost me like a point, and so thus I took second place.
Got you.
That's
But
not.
I shouldn't complain because I have
No.
like 4 grand championship trophies and 2 national titles. So
Yeah. Humble brag. Humble.
You know, that's nothing. I just let him take it for now.
Well, that's
I didn't
always.
want to add one more to my collection. You know.
Competition is a healthy thing, though, because for me, I've always equated. I've always wanted to get better at drawing, right?
Yeah.
And I've always seen someone that was better at me.
Yeah.
And this kid can draw like I've never seen, right? But I always saw that and I was just like, I need to get there.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
do I get there? And that has personally evolved me as an artist.
And I love that in more of an art style, like competition-wise. I find it frustrating, like in a game, that enrages me when something goes wrong or I can't really control it. Where if it's like game lag or whatever it might be, but in an art sense, that's why I'm really happy I'm able to spend more time with this guy that I've done Taekwondo with.
Yeah.
Always beat him, but now there's a competitive, not really competitive, but in music, we're always pushing each other to do better at it.
That's an amazing
It's a
thing.
skill to develop. It's not something you win at.
Yeah.
And I find that extremely satisfying.
Well, you know when you start slacking off and they come up with like, oh, here's this awesome little riff or whatever, and you're like, you son of a... And then it makes you want to do
You're like, now
Yeah, I can do that. I get that, but for soccer, where the rivalry comes. Where I've come over the times where I find people that are better than me, and I'm like, that guy's my rival.
I'm gonna take him out.
I want to be like surpass him in
Yeah.
every type of way possible.
Yeah.
And then once I do, or if they fall out and I never speak to them again, it's like that like fuel, that fire like dies for me.
Do you have
Time.
Netflix?
I don't.
I'll let's see if I can get you. Do you know The Last Dance? I already talked to you about this.
No.
The Last Dance is a Michael Jordan documentary of how of his championship, his time with the Chicago Bulls.
In the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it one night at 10 p.m. and I didn't fall asleep that night. It invoked a fire in me.
Really?
It is amazing. It shows you that we can be competitive.
Yeah.
But he was out to destroy everybody.
Yeah.
So when I saw that documentary, it fueled something in me. I couldn't sleep, and then I started reflecting in my life and what I was doing, what I should be doing, and all this stuff, and it put more focus in me. I highly recommend it. If you're someone that likes competitiveness or just like really wants to take something to the next level, I highly recommend it. It is a powerful thing. But yeah, watch like the first 4 episodes. It'll get you pumped, man.
Really?
It's some good stuff. Shoot, and guys, we're at the 5-minute mark. So before we got time for a couple videos. Actually, we got time for one more. So we're gonna wrap this up with this last video, and then wrap up our thoughts, and we'll close out the show. So here's the last one. Evan remembers this.
Is that a Ben 10 watch? The Omnitrix?
Yep.
And he ends it like that? It's
Just like that.
You get a cliffhanger we don't know?
Dude. What do you... Okay, let's talk about what just happened. So he was demonstrating how the Omnitrix works, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I never watched Ben 10. You guys gotta enlighten me.
I watched a little bit.
When it first came out, that was my shit.
Yeah.
And then the second series, when they changed the animation, I'm like, it's all right.
And they did a number of changes with that show.
Yeah.
But I think what they were doing was pretty fun. But I wanted to talk about what shows made you who you are today.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? For me, it's always been the 90s. Do you remember Toonami?
Yeah.
I grew up in that era.
Yeah.
That was my shit. That's what made me who I am today. I was watching Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam,
Yeah.
everything from what's going on. And that's what shaped me as a person and my interest. But do you guys have a show or something like that?
Do you have one?
I have a couple, yeah, but...
I mean, I have Trigun.
Yep.
Trigun.
I just rewatched that, by the way.
Cowboy Bebop, the philosophy.
I'm watching
behind
Cowboy Bebop
both
right now.
those shows.
Yeah.
Man, those are really, really big impacts of characteristics that I've had and like perspectives that I've had. Same with like Naruto growing up. I remember when like it came out like 2005. I was like 8, 9-ish.
Yep.
Like growing up with Naruto like changes your perspective of like.
It does, because we grew up with it, and I remember watching the entire thing all the way to the Great Ninja War.
Yeah.
And all the way to Shippuden.
Yeah.
It's just, it changes you as a person.
I have people,
It's much more impact.
family members that like I've got them into Naruto, and they're binge watching it. But it's like
It's a different thing.
they appreciate it, but it's like I appreciate it more because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
As I was like growing up, they were growing up with the show too, so it's just like
Well, every week for us was a new episode, and it was a
Yeah.
new fight. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's filler, but like now, I love that we have this great appreciation. We can go back and just watch the pain arc.
yeah.
And that's like the coolest fucking
Yeah,
thing ever.
yeah.
And just go back and appreciate those things. But when you grow up with it, man, that's who shapes you. And for me, obviously, Naruto, amazing stuff.
I think Dragon
I
Ball
still
Z
have
too.
yet to watch.
Exactly, Dragon Ball Z.
Naruto all the way. Oh, I love the first season, but that's all I really got into. For
I
Dragon
told them
Ball
about
Z.
getting into the Cell Saga, and for me, that's my favorite
Man.
season because it's the culmination of everything, and he hasn't seen it yet, and it really upsets me because that's
should
the
watch it.
best thing, man.
It's long, but it's good.
Yeah.
So wasn't he like the green guy? I'm just. All right. Anyway.
He's the bug guy.
Yeah, I love that arc.
Yeah, it's an amazing piece of storytelling. But what shows?
I remember, besides my parents always my family watching murder mysteries, that kind of fueled a lot of nightmares I had. But
Okay.
besides that, I was heavily into MacGyver, if you know who that is.
I know a little
I
the
was
show.
obsessed with that, and that's why I wanted to be like an adventure creator, like inventor person.
Yeah.
Because it was just out of like whatever tools or things you have in your hands, you can make something.
Oh, I only know him because of frickin' MacGruber. That's like a parody version.
Yeah,
of
MacGruber. But besides that, Avatar: The Last Airbender really let me see more character arcs, and as simple as there's a lot of deeper philosophical, psychological things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's actually one of the best things that Nickelodeon ever
I would agree.
Yeah.
amazing
Avatar
stuff.
is definitely.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other really good like movies, but for shows, Avatar was my thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Such a good show.
Yeah. Did you have anything else?
I've had I guess Supernatural was one, the brotherly love.
I never saw it.
You should watch it. It's
Ed
really-
was always watching that show, but I never saw it.
that like brother bonding aspect is always
Uh-huh.
like, dang, I wish I want to be that close to my sibling. Like,
Yeah.
I'll die for that. It's like a thing where you like, it affects you so much that you're just like, I want to be just like these kids.
That's probably why everyone was so positive about that show. It's just because it's always the Winchester brothers.
Yeah.
That's what kept the show going.
Yeah.
For what, 10?
15,
Freaking
15 years.
insane.
15 years.
That's an accomplishment, man. That's
Yeah.
huge.
15 years. I don't know if you guys know the Xenon The Princess
Yep.
Warrior.
Oh yeah,
At the
I used to
time-
watch that.
Such a 90s or like 80s thing, but it was like I would watch that and always be like, I want to be strong like Xenon
Yeah.
or Hercules. I would just be like,
That's
I
what
wanna be
it's from
tough.
that era.
Have you seen, or I think we've talked a little bit about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Have you
Ooh,
seen
I
it?
love it. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that inspired. I used to watch that while working out,
Nice.
and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
Help me!
the-
Holy shit!
the inspiration of like
Deals.
seeing
Yeah.
people push past their limits and how everything is just mental. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm learning how to, even just working out, like lifting weights, pushing past your limits.
Yeah.
There's
and
a
knowing that you can just do whatever you want.
there's a really great one called Hajime Ippo. I think that's what it's called. It's a boxing anime.
Oh, yes.
Essentially, it's a kid that's a rookie and he finds a passion for boxing, and out of once he gets knocked out a couple of times, he wants to take up this boxing to defend himself, and then he finds out that he actually has this, not a skill, but he is able to take hits and give hits,
Yeah.
and then it's a really long series of the mental fortitude of when you're in a fight with someone, you think, oh, like, I can just probably give him a punch, but when you're in a fight with someone, you're in a fight.
Yeah.
And
you, like,
every
turn
hit
on this
counts. Yep.
aggression that
That's what I'm saying. If you like the mentality from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hajime Ippo is freaking. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but it is insane.
I didn't even say Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z has that aspect
Oh.
of train until like your body gives out on
Yeah.
you. Basically.
Definitely.
Like, it's just like there is no limit. I'll keep pushing until I can.
Dragon Ball Z, yeah, that was an excellent one.
Not to mention, I'm still heavily into One Piece, but it's kind of the
Okay.
it's just a rinse and repeat, like kind of the same thing over. But there's cool developments. But it's funny just to see like people keep pushing past
Yeah.
and helping each other out, but like learning new barriers,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
new
It's a good
techniques.
show.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's our time. So it actually, wow,
Wow,
it went by pretty quickly. So
great session.
honestly, I wanna thank GIlbert for coming in because this was amazing.
Absolutely.
This
It's
was
been
Thank you.
great
Thank
having
you.
you.
Thank you for having me.
this is a really good time, and honestly, I wish we could keep doing these more. Our time limit did go off, but let us know what you guys think about the episode.
If you have any questions or anything you'd like to see us talk about, please leave a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, and anything you guys want to talk about as well, just send it over to twinchickens podcast at gmail.com, I believe. I'll leave the link down. If you guys have something personal you guys want to share with us, we will keep you anonymous and we'll read it in the show. And it's just love advice, any philosophical things you want to talk about, by all means, if you feel more comfortable sending it to the Gmail, send it through there. Leave us comments, let me know what you guys think. And also, this podcast will be available through Spotify, and I believe right now I'm working on getting it to the Google podcast as well. Apple is being a little finicky right now, so for right now, if you guys want to do an audio-only version of that, I'll leave the links below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.